Ready. Welcome back to lovely Doomsday Corner here on this Saturday, April 26th. We are now about to kick off game two of our doubleheader against the mighty Gaston Rhinos. Your friendly neighborhood USCL Lancers took game one 5-2 uh, in very exciting fashion as Britney Spears plays in the background. We Justice and I are glad to join you for game two. We're going to have CJ Lincoln on the mound. We'll talk about that in a minute. But while he's warming up, let me just say, don't let an injury hurt your game. The MUSC Health Sports Medicine team of physicians, athletic trainers, and physical therapists evaluate and treat athletes of all ages. Go to muschealth.org/sports to learn how they can get you back in the game with 3 convenient locations. In Chester, Indian Land, and Lancaster, our team is dedicated to providing you the excellent care you deserve. Your MUSC Health Sports Medicine team for today's game is Caitlin Krychek, MUSC Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the new team in town. And boy, I had to do that fast because, Justice, we are rolling. Tell us a little bit about CJ Lincoln as Corbin stands in. Tell us a little bit about the season CJ's had from your point of view.
He's been one of our best pitchers. He's been the most dominant when he's on his point, and he's just been reliable through and throughout.
Ty Corbin, the right-handed hitter, will be a new insert for Gaston. Line drive right at Barron, and that is going to be out one. Okay, so there's one down before I even get my game changer rolling. You know, CJ liked that, Justice. Let's get some outs recorded before Lawrence can even get going. Okay. And that is called a ball as Nicholson, who, of course, is back. Very big-time hitter for Gaston. There's one away, though. Lincoln evens the count at 1. Okay, we're just kind of barely catching up here, aren't we, Justice? Game 2 just kind of snuck up on us a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, but here we are. One ball, one strike. Top of the first. Nicholson swings and maybe foul tipped that.
Maybe.
Strike 2, whatever the case. We do have Miss Delgado up here in the booth. She's been taking some pictures for us.
I think she wants to hop on the mic.
If she want it's going to be outside.
Right.
We could always put a third mic on you, kid. We could always put a third mic on you. There's Joey Nicholson now. As we've been talking about, a very, very good year for this young man. Here comes the pitch. And that'll miss down low, so the count is full to Nicholson. Ladies and gentlemen, it was kind of a raucous. Well, Justice, tell us about the mood of the dugouts and stuff at the end of that game. It was pretty big time, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, people are excited. People are happy.
Fouled it back for yet another strike full count. Yeah, a big win against the 14th ranked team in the country. Jared Whirling was just outstanding. He gave you 5 solid innings, gave up 2 solo home runs, and that was it. And then Mr. Overholt came in and closed the door as Nicholson fouls another one back. Just a great pitching performance by our Lancers. Something you said at the beginning of the first game is really what we need to start doing better. Like, we need our pitchers and our defense to end some innings.
Yeah.
I know it sounds so simple, but fouled off again. But we have had some innings get away from us this year, and that was kind of your point.
Yeah, we've lost some games because of maybe one inning.
Yeah. So, CJ Lincoln, I'll give you a little more info on him in a moment. He's got 1 out already recorded, and the count is full here to Nicholson. Another foul ball, Nicholson making it a battle. CJ comes in with a 6.99 ERA. He's 5-4, 13 appearances overall. Yield, strikeout to walk ratio, my favorite stat, of course. Listen to this number, 47 strikeouts,
Wow.
16 walks. That is the sign of a solid pitcher. But right as I say that, perhaps jinx us, Nicholson does draw the walk. And so now Crabtree will come to the plate. Crabtree homered and singled last game. Crabtree, the first baseman for the Gaston Rhinos. We've also been tracking some mascot names of some of these teams in the top 25. We'll get back to that. It's always fun. Lincoln finds the corner there for strike one. Talking about some music, some songs with baseball references in them too. Got a lot going on in that first game. And now we're being blessed with some real wind, which I am grateful for.
Yeah, it's hot up here.
Sweatshirt is off. I'm rolling in a T-shirt here. The pitch is squibbed foul down the third base line, and the count is 0-2. Beautiful day, though, Justice. And
Oh, yeah.
what do you think, Verinia? How many people we got out there in the stands? You feel like we got 30? Maybe a little more. It was free today. We had no ticket taker. 35, Verinia says. Okay. Tents up, she says. It's exciting. She's going to show you guys pictures. Probably those will be posted tomorrow. Here comes the pitch from Lincoln. That misses, and it misses wildly. It's indeed a wild pitch, and it will move Nicholson to second. So that ends the double play / force out threat.
We got to take a picture tomorrow. It's our last day together.
We do. Tomorrow will be our last day. We sure have enjoyed this ride. Blake and Justice and I have. And we thank you so much for joining us here for Game 2. Yes, quite a ride. Fun to close out against a strong team while we're playing well also. As that ball is hit into right. It's going to be caught by Knuckles. Knuckles with the catch. Good old Knuckles. And so that'll bring Nix up with the runner at second. That fly ball also did not advance the runner. So we got many things out of that. Nix in the first game walked and had 3 flyouts. But he has had a very solid year, as have most hitters in this Gaston lineup. That is poured right down the front porch, baby. Strike one. What kind of pitches does Lincoln feature when he's on, Justice?
Fastball, slider, changeup, and he might have a 2-seam fastball, if I'm not mistaken.
And, of course, being a lefty,
yeah,
that's always makes a pitcher a little tougher. That is hit very high and deep to left. Uh-oh. Welch has no choice but to watch it go. That's going to be a tater for Nix. A 2-run towering shot. Well, Lincoln was not able to finish that hitter off as that ball was driven way, way out of our left field porch. The Gaston Rhinos leap ahead to a 2-0 lead. So, just like in the first game, we fall behind in the first inning here. That'll bring up Swanson, who did leadoff duties for now they are putting the names into Game Changer.
They heard you.
Yeah, they must. I don't know. But Swanson was 0 for 3 with a walk in Game 1. Swanson also patrolling left field. Sends a high arcing shot down the left field line. No play for Welch there. Long strike. Lefty against lefty here. Lincoln and Swanson battling. Some high-spirited chatter going on in this booth. We have lots of energy today. We love it. Here comes the pitch from Lincoln. Pours it right down the heart for another strike. It'd be good to get out of this inning without any more problems, Justice.
I want to get on the offensive side.
Yeah, give our bats a chance to get back out there. Well, we do have a 1-2 count here for CJ. And the swinging strike will end the business of the top of the first. So, ladies and gentlemen, here at lovely Doomsday Corner, the Rhinos have leapt out to a 2-0 lead, but we are about to send some hitters to the plate. I believe Blake is ready to talk mascots, so let me find my page as well. Where were we, number 10? Walters State Community College is the number 10 team in junior college baseball Division I. They are located in Tennessee. And what were you saying? The Senators is their mascot. See if you can find what the name of the Senator is. Is he just senator? Okay, and then they're the senators or the lady senators. Okay. Well, that rounds out your top 10 with Walter State. What you're looking at here, if you're watching on the screen, Frail, number 13, Frail. His first name is Connor. Connor Frail comes in with some pretty impressive numbers, you guys. As I see Justice took a break, but I'm telling all y'all out there within the sound of my voice, Frail, 2.75 ERA, 8 wins, 2 losses, and so strong record as far as ERA goes. 64 strikeouts and only 8 walks. Goodness gracious. Well, so we've got some business to deal with. Here's Isaiah Lutz, the leadoff hitter. So the Lancers take up their end of the first, and that misses. But yeah, you guys, this looks like a very hard-throwing right-handed pitcher that explains all those strikeouts. He's bringing some smoke, but that ball did miss. And so here comes pitch number 2. Lutz jumps on it, hits it to right field, and it's eminently playable. So 1 down in our end of the first. Okay, that'll bring Wilson to the plate. Wilson once again batting second, but this time he's playing catcher. He went 1 for 3 with a double in game 1. Left-handed hitter. Once again, we have our 3 lefties right up the gut here. Frail delivers a fastball that is fouled off for strike 1. Connor Frail, obviously a strikeout pitcher, just based on numbers that we've seen, and it's looking like he's a very hard thrower. That pitch is poured in as well as a fastball, but it misses. Umpire didn't love it. Even the count at 1-1 here for Cody Wilson. That too misses. 2-1 count. The pitch. That'll even the count at 2. We were just looking at some pretty gaudy numbers in your absence there, Justice. This pitcher, Connor Frail, 64 strikeouts, only 8 walks on the year.
Wow.
2.75 ERA. So he's been clearly one of Gaston's big guns with an 8-2 record, 12 appearances. Not bad. 12 appearances, 10 decisions out of 12. That's pretty good, right?
Wow. That's impressive.
And then Isaiah flied to right, and now we're looking at Cody Wilson with an even count in our end of the first. Bottom of the first. Lancers down 2-0. 3-2 count. The umpire reminds everyone what's going on. The count is full. I don't really understand why we're taking such a long break here. I guess. Okay, something's going on.
I think a glove, maybe. Something.
Manager is coming out to talk to the catcher. What about the glove, you think?
I think something with his gloves are wrong.
Okay.
Just fixing it.
Okay. Got to have that catcher's mitt right.
Yeah.
What happens in the 3rd inning? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, we got DoorDash over here. Okay. You getting paid?
All right. The negotiations, people are trying to get each other on. You know, Verinia's here working, though. So, we got to factor that into the mix. So, the catcher's getting ready. And Cody Wilson stands back in. So, let's Wow, that's
unfortunate.
That is called at the knees for strike 2. That ball was very hard pitch, fast pitch. Here comes Finn McLaughlin. A pretty big day, Justice, or game in game 1.
Yeah.
Homered and doubled, went 2 for 4. had himself an afternoon. Let's see if he can keep it going. Swing and a miss. That looked like he took something off there, like a curveball or something, for strike one. Okay. Grounded sharply to second. Nice play. And that'll end. That was a nice play by Dansky. Yeah. Nice play there to end our half of the first. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that ends one inning. Gaston Rhinos 2, Lancers 0 behind the power of a very deep home run by Nix. Let's move to our next number 11 team in the country, Division I, junior college baseball. Another Texas entrant, right, Blake? Yes. This time we got Midland at Texas. The Midland College Chaps. A chaparral. It's known as Pepe. And during the news story orientation, they're introduced to him. Chaparral. What even is that? Is it a bird? It looks like a bird. The Midland College Chaparrals. And they call the teams the Chaps. The Midland College Chaps. See, that could have some other associations that we're not going to get into. But that's for a different show, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Lincoln here comes in. We'll be clocking back to Texas again. Heck, let's do another one. Number 12 team in the country, the McLennan Community College Highlanders. The Highlanders, and the mascot is Mac the Highlander.
Mac? I like that.
See, when we first introduced Lance the Lancer here at USCL, some of us thought that his name should be Lancey.
Lancey?
Lancey, and it should be spelled I-E with a little heart over the I. But we did not get our way on that.
Lancey.
Okay, Lancey the Lancer. Instead, it's Lance the Lancer. Here's Hendrickson standing in. Hendrickson went 1 for 4 in game one. Takes that pitch.
What about Lionel? Lionel the Lancer.
They were never going to name it Lionel. There was a poll for a minute. The count was 1-0. I remember that. Hammered at second, and just it goes under Lutz's glove. I believe that's going to be ruled a single, though, because of the hardness of the hit. We'll see what it's ruled, but that ball was hit very hard on the button, and that'll bring up number 3, Sam Dansky. Dansky, the right-handed hitter, takes high and away for ball 1. What did he do last game? You might be thinking he went 1 for 3 with a single. Lincoln has a lot of base runners trying to not let much more happen. That ball's hit a mile in the air. I believe it's going to be Baker. It is. Center fielder. Baker's had a busy day out there, Justice, in center field. That'll bring up Cooper, Holden Cooper. We haven't seen him yet today. Gaston uniform. Holden Cooper comes in with a 259 average. He does have a home run. 423 on base percentage.
Ooh, good
Pretty
pitch.
good there. What did he get him with there?
I think it's fastball up and out.
Fastball down and away. Strike 1. His hat came off. He threw it so hard. Here comes the second pitch. No, it's a pickoff attempt. They've got him in a pickle. And he'll be out. The runner is eliminated. That will be greeted as good news by Lancer Nation. Nicely done there. I see Delgado down there taking pictures, gentlemen, with that big splashy camera of hers. Yeah, get some of these Justice is right. This is our last weekend together, but hopefully we'll be able to give you guys a nice gallery of shots. And Justice and I'll get some special shots with our phones tomorrow too. It's not camera's not as great as Miss Delgado's, but between the three of us, we'll give you guys some scenes and visuals from the field. So Cooper now stands in with one away and nobody on base. The count is 1-1. Takes that pitch inside. 2 outs, Blake says. Oh, the fly to center and then the pickoff right. My bad. Yeah. No, let's not memory hole the thing that just happened. That's outside.
Bless you.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, at a sneeze attack.
There we go.
Swing and a miss. Lincoln put some life into that pitch. My goodness gracious. Look how much shorter Verinia is than almost every other human on the planet, Blake. Yeah. She is shorter than you. That's right. Strike 3, Lincoln with some life on those pitches. What do you think that clocked at there, Carter? Carter surmises 83-84. Lincoln put some mustard on it, whatever the case. That ends Gaston's end of the second. So we'll move to the bottom with Garabedian, Knuckles, and Zimmerman. But let's move on down the list. The top 25 teams in the country, Division I baseball teams, one of whom we're playing today, and we're getting closer to them. But first, the Cowley Tigers. This is our first entrant from Arkansas. No, wait, Kansas. Cowley is in Kansas. My fault, Kansas. Cowley College, and their nickname is what? The Tigers. All right. So, well, that was number 13, and I'll just go ahead and give away what's next. 14 is, of course, the Gaston Rhinos in the country. The team we were playing today, they have had quite the season. They came into game 1 of this series 24-7 overall with a 17-7 record in the conference. That should tell you guys something about the quality of our conference, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Flodar, too, has lost some games in this conference, including to us once. Sumter got them, I believe, at least once. It's a tough conference indeed, and Gaston Rhinos will clock in at 14. Okay, here we go. It's going to be Garabedian, Knuckles, and Zimmerman. So Garabedian in game 1 of this series drew a pair of walks, Justice.
Yeah.
Nothing shocking there, as Jane's Addiction would say. Let's see if we can't get something going here in our half of the second. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for those of you that are out here checking us out on YouTube. You know, this year we switched all our technology to the YouTube channel for feeds that we did, at least the ones I was a part of, as Garabedian Swings and Misses. We did Calhoun's Corner. We fed that through YouTube. And all of the games we've brought to you this spring have been through YouTube, and we feel the quality of the feed has just been sharper and better, and we're appreciative. That ball's grounded sharply to second. High chopper. Looks like it's going to be a fairly easy play for the second bagger. But subscribe is my point to our YouTube channel. And keep an eye out on USCL Athletics Facebook page, where we put lots of good information on there, pictures, links to videos, and just general community building, which is what this is all about. Brady Knuckles comes to the plate now. He's patrolling right field for us again, Justice. And he went 0 for 3 in game 1, so he's kind of due, right?
Yeah.
Made a couple of nice plays out there in right, though. Takes that pitch for a strike right down the heart. All right, Lancer's trying to get a little damage done here of our own as we're trailing 2-0 in the second, and that pitch by Frail. He really is throwing bullets, Justice. What do you see about this kid? He's obviously having a big year. What are you noticing?
I mean, he's got great movement on his stuff, and he seems like he's throwing it pretty hard. So
Yeah, we don't have a radar gun on the opposing pitchers, do we? We don't clock
we
their.
can
Do
we
we
can
do
get
that?
a couple.
Did he go?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went. Okay, so Knuckles is down on strikes. That'll bring up Zimmerman, who, did pinch hit for us in the last game, and now he's going to get a chance to start as our DH. Tommy Zimmerman, big right-handed hitter. Comes in batting 309, 367 on base percentage with a tater. Chopped straight back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. So Zimmerman making Calhoun look good with the button pushing there, Justice.
Yep.
Here comes Caden Barron, the shortstop. Last game he went 0 for 2 with a sack RBI, though.
Yeah.
Here, with one down, chance to advance the runner in Zimmerman. So let's see what happens here. That's fouled out of play. Probably went in the road. A lot of chatter on the Gaston dugout. They were quite lively, weren't they, Justice, at the end of that first game? That's grounded to short. They might try to get two. They didn't need two. Never mind. Why didn't they need two? So Knuckles led off with the strikeout. What am I missing here?
No, Luke Garabedian.
Oh, Garabedian grounded out. Right. I just had him in the wrong column. Or actually, I had everybody else in the wrong column. Okay. My bad, y'all. You know how we get in the second game. We start looping out a little bit more, but we're still standing. Let's see what we got. We're moving on down the list, aren't we, guys? Number 15. Another Florida entrant. This one, the College of Central Florida. I'm imagining they're located in Orlando. The Patriots, the College of Central Florida Patriots. I wonder what their mascot is named. Probably looks like I don't know. Maybe they dressed him up as an American Revolutionary. I wonder what. Can you click on images for these guys? Yeah, it's like a Paul Revere on a horse kind of thing. But I don't know what the actual mascot. I bet he's got a Paul Revere mask or some thing like that, right? The Patriots. Okay, guys, we're going to move here. Into the top of the third with the Gaston Rhinos leading your friendly neighborhood Lancers 2-0. Looks like it's going to be Armstrong to lead things off for the Rhinos. Armstrong turns their offense around. He bats ninth, takes a strike there. He went 1 for 2 with a walk in game one. Lincoln seems to have settled down some, Justice.
Yeah. He's a really quick tempo pitcher, like you said, kind of similar to Whirling.
Okay. Sharply grounded. Barron can't handle it. It just eludes his outstretched glove for a single. Are we all right over here?
Yeah, choking on some air.
Oh, no. All right, yeah, we're having some difficulties up here in the booth between the two of us, but that is a base hit, however you slice it. So here comes Ty Corbin. He's hitting .333. He did not play in the last game, and he has a .463 on base percentage himself. So he's up with a runner on and no outs as we turn back around the lineup. Swing and a miss. The runner goes, and it's going to be an easy out.
We'll take it.
Nice play by Cody Wilson. Good throw. I mean, I don't know what happened there, if it was just a bad jump.
I don't know.
But the Rhinos coaching staff was quite unhappy with the end of game one, and there was some exuberant, from what I heard, chastisement. Let's say, let's use a.
It's a nice way to put it.
A nice way to put it. Chastisement, exhortation, expectation that they would play better. Perhaps we'll put it that way. Maybe with some language a little bit more colorful than mine. But that right there just looked like, to me, the second time Gaston has lost a runner because of running decisions, trying to stretch something that wasn't really there. Either way, there's now one down for Corbin. Corbin will drill that in the center for a hit, though. So, okay, we replace one runner at first with another. Here comes Nicholson, who walked.
I've always envied the – sorry, my bad.
Go ahead.
I always envied the repertoire of just words that English teachers have at their use and just the amount of language that they can use.
Some of it is talking a lot, which a lot of professors tended to be pretty extroverted in school at Mrs. High. But you know what a lot of it is, man, it just comes down to reading.
Yeah.
It's just reading. Like, if you want to speak and write a certain kind of way, there is no replacement for just reading books or even articles, good writing. Oh, that's hammered down the left field line. I believe they're going to send the runner to at least third. Perhaps, no, they're not going to get more. Okay, so we've got a stand-up double from Nicholson. Some excitement erupts in the Gaston dugout and with their fans. And so now Crabtree's going to come up with two runners in scoring position. Lincoln unhappy, but that ball was just roped. I mean, standing double for Nicholson. Crabtree, his last time up, flied to right. There is one down because of the caught stealing. Still, it's a fly ball opportunity at the least, perhaps more. Lincoln with the delivery. And, yes, that is hit hard into the right center gap. What a catch by Baker. Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Yes, a sacrifice fly, but I was all ready to say that was in the hole, guys. That's one of the best catches I've seen all year.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing guys on the other side of the booth also deeply impressed by that amazing catch by Dylan Baker. That'll bring up Nix, who homered way to left field last time. And the Rhinos leading 3-zip. There is a runner in scoring position still in the person of Nicholson. That's right down Broadway for strike one. Certainly that catch saved a run.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did it save a run, but they didn't even advance the runner to third, which surprises me as well.
Yeah.
Okay, the count's 0-1. Chopped. Fair. Are they going to send the runner? Yes, they are. Base hit to right by Nix. Scores the run. And so Gaston jumping all over CJ a little bit now. It is 4-0 with Swanson. Swanson comes to the plate, having struck out the first time. There are two outs, but your Lancers now trail 4-0. So let's see if we can't stop the inning here. A little bit of a pickoff move. Hey, this is just a rally. What are you going to do? I mean, this is some good timely hitting here, putting some pressure on CJ. The pitch. No, that's inside. Ball one. Okay, so we do have Nix on first. CJ's keeping an eye on him. He brings the pitch. Hit high in the air. Is it shortstop? Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Barron. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 2.5, the Rhinos have now doubled up their lead. It is 4-0. Time for us to get something going, and perhaps this is the inning to do it. Meanwhile, in between innings, let's see if we can't go down the heart here. Next is another Florida school, number 16 in the country, Gulf Coast Community College, and they are the Commodores. I'm going to guess their mascot is not named a commie. Can you type in the name of the mascot for the Commodore? What is the mascot? Eagles, the mascot of the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't really. This isn't an easy Google search for us on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. But they're the Commodores / Eagles. How about that? And I doubt again that his nickname is Commie, the Commodore. What about number 17? New Mexico is all it says. New Mexico what? New Mexico Junior College, maybe? It's getting a little trickier for us. The New Mexico Community College Thunderbirds. Okay. That's the name of an adult beverage. Remember those? I had a buddy that used to call it the Thunder Chicken back in the day. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can get some runs on the board, gentlemen. Dylan Baker, who made one of the best catches I've seen in a long time on this field, will lead off our end of the third. We trail 4-0, though. So we need to get something going.
Yeah, we haven't seemed to quite get this pitcher yet.
And if Frail is throwing bullets, there is no doubt that is going to be fouled straight back. Not really straight back, down in the parking lot on the right side. 0-2 count.
There's got to be a lot of baseballs back there.
Oh yeah, and on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, here comes a pitch from Frail, another towering foul ball. I see some people going for a leisurely stroll on the road, and they just turned around and noticed the ball landing behind them. We're very close to the Lindsay Pettis Greenway, right, Blake? Beautiful, one of the crown jewels of Lancaster. I'd highly recommend you go for a walk some beautiful day like this. That pitch from Frail misses. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a little culture. What about this tonight? The University of South Carolina Lancaster players we have a very strong theater program here as Baker takes one down the line, hooking foul. You know what we're doing, what play they're doing this weekend, Justice? You might like this. I bet you've either read the books or seen the movies. Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief.
Where's this at? Where's this at?
Right here at USCL tonight. I'll be talking about that in between innings, but our theater company is putting that show on tonight. They did it last night, and they have a Sunday matinee tomorrow. I'll tell you all more information about that in just a moment. Baker gives that one a deep ride to center, and that ain't coming back, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you call what do you call it, Justice?
That's a tater.
That's a tater.
Man, he pieced
Well, Baker's having himself a day.
Oh, yeah.
That's his second home run of the day. He dingered one out in the first game. He tatered one out just now. And that was the dead center, too. That was just like right back at you, baby.
That was pieced.
Verinia getting some good shots down there of the celebration, but we're still down 4-1. Let's not get carried away. Here comes Chaz Welch. Welch in game one singled and walked, ultimately going 1 for 2. And here she comes with her camera loaded. That is going to be strike one. Let us see how we do here. Oh, swinging and a miss from Mr. Welch for strike. So Baker running like a deer to run down a ball. There's no way he should have caught in the inning before. Comes up homers. He's doing all he can to help us come back, Justice.
Oh yeah.
And the count is now 1-2. That ball was hit a ton. Way deep to left field. That is not coming back either. Woo! Open the window, Aunt Minnie. There she goes. And what are we going to call that one?
That's a back-to-back tater.
That's back-to-back taters. Tater 1 and Tater 2. Wasting away again in Taterville. Taters everywhere. The fans are clapping. There's joy in Lancaster. It is 4-2. We're back to the top of the order after we finish celebrating. Isaiah Lutz, who flied to right, will be the hitter. We still have no outs. So, we're trying to – what's that? Yeah, we're trying to get back into this game against the flame-throwing Frail. That's a ball. But as we all know, Justice, one of the things about flame-throwing strikeout pitchers is if you get a hold of one,
Oh yeah, that
it
ball
will
flies.
go a long way. And so that is the drawback about being a hard thrower sometimes. That is a strike up at the letters. So Connor Frail trying to settle down a little bit. The umpire maybe didn't like the speed at which all this is happening. He slows it down a bit. Everybody regathers. Back-to-back Taters have slashed the lead in half. Lutz hits one hard on the button, but right at the left fielder, and that's going to be the first out of the Lancer third. He put some mustard on that, Justice, but he didn't get quite enough, did he?
Nah.
Okay. Cody Wilson's going to be your hitter. Left-handed hitting catcher. He designated hit last game and had a double. Scored a run as well. Fouls that one off. Out of play. 0-1. One down. Bottom of the third. We'll tell you more about the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. That ball was poured down at the knees for strike 2. Are you a fan of the Percy Jackson series, Justice? Do you like those?
I've seen the movies, but I've never read the books, and I heard the books are amazing.
The books, I remember my kids enjoying the books when they were little. I don't know if, Blake, did you ever do the Percy Jackson stories with your kid? That is a strikeout with a runner advancing.
A double. Strikeout double.
A strikeout with, I don't know how to score that except to say, I'm going to put a circle around it. Strikeout with a circle. But Cody just kept running. You don't see a catcher run like that every day, Justice. He took off like there was a Chick-fil-A cookie waiting at the end of that run. I know. I was just thinking about those cookies. All right, so here comes McLaughlin now with a runner in scoring position. We do like cookies up here in the booth. Here comes the pitch. Slow squibber to third. Long throw. Checks the runner. Does make the throw. Okay. Garabedian comes to play with a runner on second. It's still like I've never scored a guy actually making it to second base on a strikeout, so my own writing confuses me. But that's what's going on. Garabedian with a runner in scoring position now in the personage of Wilson. Frail pours another strike down to the knees. It seems like when he's most effective, he's keeping the ball down, Justice.
Yeah.
Keeping the ball down to the knees. Connor sets to deliver. Garabedian timed that one just a little bit late. 0-2. 0-2 is the count. Frail settles in. Lancer's trying to get more. We've already gotten 2 this inning. The umpire did not love it. There were guys leaving the field, but they can just hang on and come on back. Count is 1-2. Everybody settles down. Gaston's manager is going to have a stroke at some of these moments over here. He's found himself unhappy a few times.
Oh, that's unique. He has a stand for his papers.
Really? Almost like an easel.
Yeah.
Like he's painting. I love it. I'll allow it, like the guy in Community says. Did you ever watch that sitcom Community?
No, but I've heard of it.
That is fantastic, yes. All right, here comes the 2-2. Sharply hit. Nice try by the second baseman. Here comes the runner. They are indeed sending him, and they got him. A collision at the plate. So it's a single, and the runner is erased. What is happening?
The dugout's cleared.
Oh, wow. The umpire was upset at some of the attitude, maybe?
He didn't like the fact that a lot of their players came out quick after.
Before the play was over.
No, because they collided and they didn't like that, so they all came out to kind of.
Oh, the umpire's making sure there's nothing, no conflict. No extracurricular. What a great play by the catcher for Gaston, holding Cooper. Well, I mean, this is a thing that I've seen in the majors enforced very hard, that you try to avoid these collisions at all costs. It may be the case that Gaston is complaining a little bit about Wilson's choice to run into the catcher there.
Yeah.
And you can see the manager still talking to the umpire saying, well, he ran him over. The counter argument is that Cooper was in the baseline. So, is it incumbent on you to just stop running and be tagged? I mean, I don't know, what exactly we're upset about here. It's always unfortunate to see a collision like that, but what do you think, Justice, based on what you saw?
I mean, you can't expect the runner to just stop, like you said, and stop running just because the catcher's in the way, but you also don't want collisions, so I don't know.
But, boy, that umpire was fired up. He told those guys to get back in the dugout. He didn't want any part of what Blake rightly calls extracurricular. So the score remains 4-2, ladies and gentlemen. A dramatic end to the third inning. We're going to have Hendrickson, Dansky. Hard to read my own writing here, guys. And Cooper, who was in the middle of that play. But we're going to start things off. There she is. We're going to start things off with Hendrickson. As Lincoln remains on the mound, that's going to be ball one. Yeah, it was a little bit risky to send the runner there.
Yeah.
That was, But you force a good throw.
That's
if
true.
that ball had been a bad throw, we'd be praising the riverboat gambling of it all. That ball is lined fair. Down the left field line. Hendrickson's going to get more than one out of this. It's a standing double. So, nice piece of oppo hitting there, going the other way with the left-handed bat. That'll bring Dansky to the plate. And Dansky, went 1 for 3 last game, and in this game he has flied to center. But now he has a runner in scoring position with no outs. It's Gaston sitting on a 2-run lead in the top of the fourth, trying to get a little more here. Lincoln trying to stop things, misses up high there. 1-0 the count. The pitch. Outside, 2-0, and Lincoln put a little extra on that one. His hat came off.
Oh.
Chopped up the middle. Lutz is not going to get there. They are going to send the runner. There is a throw to the plate. And then now they did get the runner at second. Okay, so
good throw, Cody.
What happened was Dansky got a hit, but then was thrown out.
How you score that?
And he got an RBI too. Let's just clear it all up here. Hendrickson scores. Dansky is thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. Now the bases are empty, and now the score is 5-2.
Okay. I don't know how to score that. We're just going to put –
I just wrote a single and then drew an X over him.
Oh, one. Okay. There we go.
So that I would know it was out. Since nobody's going to check these, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although maybe our scored games will end up in the Hall of Fame one day in Cooperstown, the history we've made here with our amazing here's, by the way – slow grounder. Lincoln's there. That'll take care of Cooper. Nice play by Lincoln. Athletic play.
Yeah. He can move good for a big guy.
He moves. Yes, he does. And now here comes Armstrong, who singled last time. We, meanwhile, if we can get out of this intact, we did give up a run, and we lament that. But we'll have Knuckles, Zimmerman, and Barron. That ball's hit high to left. Welch gives chase. He's there. Okay. Okay, Gaston gets a run.
Yep.
And the score's 5-2. What's that? It could have been worse. That is true. Let's see what we got here. Where were we? All right, number 18. Here's a school I've never heard of. John A. Logan in Illinois. It's college. Okay, the mascot is Charger. He's a horse. They must be the Chargers. What do you think about that? A horse named Charger. And John A. Logan College is located in Illinois. Next up, here's another Kansas entry. Johnson County, the Johnson County Community College Cavaliers. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is alliteration. Remember in English 101 when I told you? Yeah, English, say into the mic there. I remember. Yeah, see, because I teach a lot of consonants rhyming. Yeah, the Johnson Community College Cavaliers. All right, let's get some runs here, fellas. It was a big alliteration. That's right. So, Knuckles at the plate in the bottom of the fourth.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate it.
Strike one to Mr. Knuckles. Knuckles did strike out in his first at bat. Owen won the count. 0-2 the count. 0-3 the count. Knuckles out swinging. Okay. He did take one foul ball for a ride, but yeah. And Tommy Zimmerman will be the hitter. He singled last time up. He takes strike one of the knees there. A lot of exuberance emerging on the Gaston side here as they're trying to hang on to this lead. That catches the outside corner from Frail. Frail working on his, I guess, 47th pitch now incoming. Ahead of this hitter, Zimmerman, 0-2. Zimmerman staying alive. Fouls that one into the visiting bullpen. The count remains 0-2. We have one away. We're in the bottom of the fourth, trailing 5-2 to Gaston. Another foul ball from Zimmerman. Extending the at-bat. Looking for maybe a mistake here.
We'll take it.
From Frail, just something he can get on top of. That misses outside. Okay, the count's 2-2 now. That rang him up. Unfortunately, I think that just kind of froze Tommy there, Justice.
Yeah.
All right, so Caden Barron now is the hitter. He grounded to short his last time. All right, so Barron also in game one of this doubleheader had an RBI. Here he is with two down frail, having.
I think the umpire is getting a little frustrated with the music maybe going too long.
Is he?
Possibly.
Did he make a signal up here?
Yeah.
That ball misses inside, very inside, 2-0. Yeah, these umpires have a very clear sense of how they want things to go.
Yeah.
And if they see deviation from it, whether it's how long our music runs or if they feel like things are getting a little chippy in these dugouts, they're very quick to, make moves.
Oh, yeah.
Which I respect. I do think you can overdo it, though. It counts 3-0 now to Mr. Barron. Stidike 1, poured down the middle.
Well, you know what they say, with great power comes great responsibility, so they have.
Yeah, a little bit of a Spider-Man invocation there. I dig it. It's so true. Barron pops that one into right field. That'll end the Lancer end of the fourth. Okay. And we will move into the top of the fifth. Blake, next up, we're almost to the end. The number 20 team in the country. He wants to talk to you. I think the umpire's asking to see the music guy. He's waving for you to go down there, Carter.
I'm playing music. I'll go
Okay. Well, while we deal with that, Shelton State in Alabama. It's a Buccaneer. That's our third Buccaneer. Shelton State Community College. It represents the college's adventurous and determined spirit. Okay, so it's a historically black college, HBCU. It's featured in the college's student newspaper, the Shelton Courier. So we'll see what sort of message the umpire had here for us. We sent Justice down to see what his concerns were about the music.
Well, then I'm not even going to be able to play the music. Yeah, there's not going to be any bumper songs. What did he say, Cole? He's saying turn it off as soon as they get to the dirt, but you're supposed to turn it off when they step in the block.
So there's some lively discussion about that. The umpire is got some strict sense of how the music is supposed to go, ladies and gentlemen, and so that has been some engagement right up here with us in the booth. Anyway, the Gaston Rhinos are back to the top of their order with Corbin, who has singled and grounded out. And he takes a strike there, or maybe he swung. What happened?
I didn't even.
It's a strike. I saw him do that, but I was too busy thinking about some of this walk-up music issues. That misses high and upstairs. So we have a 1-1 situation now. That curveball misses upstairs, 2-1. Lincoln's at about 57 pitches right now. Misses outside there to push the count to 3-1. Thank you so much for joining us for Lancers Live on this Saturday, April 26th. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Game 2 of a doubleheader. That ball is tattooed into left, but right at Mr. Welch for out 1. We will certainly happily take that out.
Yeah, I thought that was further off the bat.
Yeah, he hit it hard, but right at the guy. And now we have Nicholson, who has walked and doubled. But I was just saying, thank you so much for joining us in the second game here at about 4:45 in the afternoon. We've had so much fun bringing you the action. It has been quite a lot of action, in fact, as Lincoln misses upstairs. Our final weekend together in 2025 in this booth, because after this series, and that ball misses inside, the Lancers and the Rhinos will close the book on their regular seasons and repair in the near future. I'm not sure which weekend it is, to Lexington, South Carolina, to do the Region 10 playoffs. Do you know when that is?
I think next weekend, or if not, for sure the weekend after that. So it's
we will
Yeah.
Blake and Justice both say that this coming weekend, but whichever it is, I promise you guys that we'll get some posts on the Facebook board updating you about when these games are, inviting people to go down to Lexington as our Lancers will do business down there. So the stadium's quite characterful. I enjoyed it very much going down there for the as that ball looks to be, it's a foul ball down the left field line. Is it? Is it a foul ball? Looked
Yeah.
foul to me.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just it's quite a pretty little stadium, like on the out, a town adjacent to Columbia, something like that, right? Lexington's kind of adjacent to near. But we had a great time. I went down there with Professor Elizabeth Easley and checked out a game or two, and there's some scouts down there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of energy. Fans from all the different schools come in because everybody's playing in the same weekend.
Yep.
It is a lot of fun.
It starts Thursday, May 1st.
Thursday, May 1st, Blake
Okay.
says. Okay, so you'll be getting some.
Through Saturday.
That's coming up. That's this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Lincoln misses. He's going to lose that hitter. Nicholson draws his second walk of the day. And as I promised, I have more information coming about the Lightning Thief. It's just that we've had so many controversies and issues with the umpire and everything else. We've had to talk about so much stuff in between innings, and that's not even counting our mascot tracking. But here's Crabtree, who has earned an RBI with a sacrifice. But we really do, ladies and gentlemen, we have for a long time, USCL have an extremely strong, award-winning theater department. That program spearheaded by Professor Mary Beth Berry and has been for a long time. She and Tyree Rowell, who has also been a great leader for the Lancaster players, as Lincoln misses there. A fantastic job continuing to grow our program. Many times, sometimes with dual enrollment students, sometimes with traditional age students, sometimes citizens of the community will be in these plays. And they've won a lot of awards and gotten some accolades, and I expect it will be nothing less in the Lightning Thief, which will be tonight at 8 o'clock. I believe Stevens, right? Stevens Auditorium? Right on the lovely USCL campus. And then there'll be a matinee tomorrow, and I'll read you a little bit more. The Lightning Thief is kind of iconic for 18-year-olds of this current generation, right? They've seen the movies. A lot of the kids grew up reading the books. I know that Percy Jackson was an important figure for my 18-year-old son. Enjoyed that character. His engagement with Greek mythology always pleases me as a literature guy. I tell you what, as that ball misses inside, and that's going to be ball 4, the Broadway musical, and I don't know if they're going to do this song or not, but what they're doing is a musical too. But I have the Broadway musical, like we have the CD, and or Spotify or both, and like one of the songs is called the Campfire Song, and it is amazing. It's like these different kids of these Greek gods are complaining about the Greek gods, and so they go around the campfire, and each of them sings their sad story about how horrible their parent is.
I like that. That's
It's
good.
very good. Nix now comes up with runners at first and second, but enough about that for now. Lincoln still battling, strike one there. He did lose 2 hitters in a row to walks, but as we said in the first game, you can't just go up there throwing meatballs. Like, you have to locate your pitches against an offense this good, right?
Yeah.
That is chopped slow. Incoming is Barron, and the force out at third
Nice.
takes place. Nice play by Caden. Nice awareness by Finn. Be 2 outs. And as a pitcher, you know this. It's hard enough to throw strikes anyway.
Yeah.
But you can't just throw strikes against an offense this good. You have to have movement on it. You have to be location.
Yeah.
And when you're putting that much stress on the pitches, you're going to walk some people. I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
unless you're just really on. Even Whirling had a couple of walks last game, but for the most part, he and Overholt, they just had it, Here comes a pitch from CJ, who is pitching well, in my opinion. He's had a couple of bad breaks, given up a couple of big hits. He put that one over 12-6, kind of a curve for strike one, though. Swanson 0 for 2 so far. and I believe he
we
went
go.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so 0 for 2. And I guess what the umpire was saying about our guy Carter up here running the music, and we've always had somebody doing walk-up music, right?
Yeah.
Is it like they want the music cut off by the time the guy gets to the dirt, is what they told you.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on? Is he afraid that the music is going to be playing during a pitch? Like,
I think
what's going
so. I think he's worried that.
Hit right up the middle, base hit. Baker comes in. The runner is coming home, and he will score. So a run-scoring single, speaking of alliteration, for Swanson. Ha! There's another, a run-scoring single for Swanson. That sounds pretty good. All right. So that moves the score to 6-2, ladies and gentlemen. And the hitter is Hendrickson with runners at first and second. Gaston's showing some of its muscle here in the second game of the series. Already has hung 6 runs on us. CJ looks, I guess, Nick's back. Got Nix on second, Swanson on first, and Hendrickson drills it into dead center, and that ball is gone. Wow. Goodbye, good night, and good luck. The Gaston dugout very happy, of course. A 3-run blast from Hendrickson. All right. I don't know if we're going to stay with CJ or not. What do you think?
No, I think they're going to kind of go with somebody else at this point.
Here comes Coach Calhoun, and meanwhile, Dansky will be the hitter for Gaston. So, wow, just an outburst. Nice pieces of hitting all around. 9-2 is your score. I've lost track a little bit on my score sheet of who has actually scored these runs, guys. But we know they've got 9 of them. And we know that 3 of them were just delivered by Mr. Hendrickson with a blast to dead center. All right, let's talk about the rest of this national ranking while we've got a minute, because who are we even going to bring in?
We got Will Primusberger coming in for
We're going to bring in Primusberger from Minnesota, and we'll talk about him a little bit. But meanwhile, Central Arizona is next up, and who even are they? Are they just community college? The Vaquera for women's teams. That's Spanish for cowboy. Those are the Vaqueros. The Arizona Community College Athletic Conference is what they're part of. Okay, so just Central Arizona College, I guess, right? Primusberger, and then we'll get to the next one in just a moment. I'll give Blake a chance to bring it up. Primusberger, we know, is from Minnesota. We've talked about that, but what else can you say about him there, Justice?
Lefty, he's got a 12-6 curve. You can see right there. It's very loopy. Fastball, changeup, and I think he's been working on a 2-seam as well.
Yeah. This will be a good opportunity to feature, and, you know, Primusberger, you hate to say it, but when you're down 9-2, you can no longer call it a high-pressure situation. It's a chance to, you know, kind of come in and, you know, be loose. And, like, see what you got. All right. Cochise, another Arizona school.
Really?
Cochise College, Sierra Vista campus. They are the Apaches. Okay. And then, okay, we haven't seen a school from this state. Next up, we'll talk about this next time. number 23 in the country is going to be the College of Southern Nevada. So we'll gin them up for next time. But right now,
I've actually got to watch College of Southern Nevada play. That's where Bryce Harper went.
who?
Bryce Harper. He got
Okay.
drafted out of.
Okay. Off the top of his head, Justice calls Bryce Harper's community college roots, which should tell you guys something about the value of these region leagues. Well, it's a bit of a spanking right now. It's a 9-2 Gaston. We are in the 5th inning. Dansky is the hitter. Primusburger is now on for Gaston, and I mean for us, for the Lancers, this is strike one. There are 2 outs. No, it's hard to believe. But we came very close to escaping any damage in that inning.
I didn't even realize we had to. That's unfortunate.
And instead of escaping damage, we experienced a lot of damage. But Primusburger puts out the fire. Okay. Well, we're going to come to bat in the bottom of the 5th, down 9-2. And our hitters will be Baker, Welch, and Lutz. Okay, let's get to the Justice has already said something pretty cool about the College of Southern Nevada. What are they? The College of Southern Nevada are the Coyotes, and they are it looks like next we've got number 24 in the country of the Division I junior college baseball, Lower Columbia College. They are in the state of Washington, and they are the Red Devils. So I guess their mascot is going to be a guy in a devil costume. Have you seen any pictures?
That would be my guess.
Okay, and the number 25 team in the country. In the Cypress, California Chargers, and they too feature a horse. Gosh, that's like 3 Chargers in the top 25, guys. Oh, that was fun. I'm kind of a mascot guy myself. I dig it. All right. So, of course, this is where our runs came from, Justice. Dylan Baker and Chaz Welch had back-to-back taters.
Well, then what is the point of even playing music?
And we're still working out the timing of music here, but we are in the...
That's a home run.
That'll be another. What is that going to be, Justice?
That's a tater.
Another tater.
Third tater of the day for him.
Dylan Baker with his 3rd home run of the game. Goodness gracious. Open the window, Aunt Minnie. There she went. 9-3 is now your score. Getting a lot of pictures. Game is not without its high emotions, Blake. And now, Chaz Welch, who dingered.
You got to turn. You got to cut it now. He's gonna yell at you.
Okay, here's Chaz Welch, who homered his last at bat as well. And that pitch kind of misses on the outside part of the plate. I don't know if it was that it was low or outside. I could see that it missed, though. They say he did not go. Okay, 2-0. The umpire deferred to the first base umpire there. The first base umpire said he did not go. So the count is 2-0 to Mr. Welch. That, too, will miss outside. So now, Welch with a 3-0 count, absolutely no green light here, even though he has a home run. What you need is runners. So... right down Broadway for strike one. Your score, The Gaston Rhinos 9. Your Lancers 3. Chopped to short. Difficult throw, sort of, but they got it. Welch is retired. That'll bring Isaiah Lutz to the plate, who has flied to right and flied to left. Lutz, the second baseman. Hits that ball in the button to dead center. It's a long run, and the center fielder will not catch it. Lutz has some wheels, too. He's digging hard for third, and it's going to be a sliding. I don't love to see a headfirst slide, but I know that it's fun for the kids. It's going to be a headfirst sliding triple for Isaiah Lutz. Beautiful piece of hitting there. I mean, he got a lot of that ball, didn't he, Justice?
Oh, yeah.
And once he's running, it's trouble. All right, so now here comes Wilson. Wilson struck out. Then he struck out again, but on the second strikeout, he turned it into kind of like a strikeout double. He was also part of a fairly controversial play at the plate where there was a collision. Wilson himself playing catcher today. So here he is with yet another run 90 feet away. It would be nice if we could move the score even more towards our favor here. We are trailing 9-3 here in bottom 5. And that is hit up the middle, and that will score the run. Lutz trots in happily. And so, Finn McLaughlin, who's had a couple of ground outs,
Wait, turn it off.
and now the long, slow walk from the Gaston manager. Okay. I don't know if they're going to change pitchers or if they're just going to talk about it, Justice. What do you think?
I mean, this is one of their studs, so I don't know.
It is indeed one of their high-profile pitchers in Frail. He has only thrown 64 pitches, and the truth is you are leading.
That's true, yeah.
9-4.
They're going to keep him.
So they're going to stick with him. And Wilson will be the runner at first, and McLaughlin will be the hitter. So, and Garabedian is on deck. All of this with one out in the bottom of the 5th.
Ooh.
And that misses, right?
Yeah.
And I would imagine that whatever happens when we go back out onto the field, it's going to be Primus Burger again, because like he just faced one batter, got an out, and that was it. So he's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
All right, so here's McLaughlin, definitely one of the Lancer power hitters. But right now, again, you're down 5, and what you need is base runners. Just keep that line a-moving.
Yeah.
That misses high and outside. This is going to be ball 3, you guys. Good piece of plate appearancing so far by McLaughlin. That's a strike at the knees. Lancer crowd getting a little into it here with some agitation, trying to exhort our guys. Hits it the opposite way, right at the left fielder. It is caught for out number 2. Go away, fly. Okay, that'll bring up Garabedian. Okay, so here's Garabedian with a runner on first and 2 outs now. The count is 1-0 to Garabedian, and that catches the corner letters. That'll even the count at 1-1. Be nice to get this run home, even though he's on first. Like, let's bring him home. That misses outside, 2-1. Frail steps off for a second, comes back, delivers a very nasty pitch on the outside part of the plate to even it. To even the count, that is at 2-2. Bottom of the fifth, your friendly neighborhood Lancers trailing 9-4 now. I believe he went. That'll end our fifth. Okay, let me tell you guys a little bit about Lightning Thief. I've been teasing this long enough. Sumter is losing to Salk in the top of the ninth. So says Blake. Okay. Okay, so USCL presents the Lightning Thief tonight. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have a subscription to the Lancaster News, and so that's what's holding me up here. But we're talking about tonight, the 25th. I mean, last night, the 25th. Tonight, the 26th. At 8 o'clock at Stevens. And then tomorrow, April 27th at 2 p.m., okay? If you want to go see this fantastic show, The Lightning Thief, the Facebook page describes it thusly. Stevens Theater in Hubbard Hall. Tickets can be purchased at sc.edu/Lancaster/players. For more information, call 313-7000 or text 803-386-8893. Not only did Mary Beth Berry direct the show and Tyree K. Rowell serve as technical director, but one of our newish hires, Professor Connor Austell of music, was the musical director for this show. So that is going to be a lot of fun as well. Highly recommend that people consider going to see this show. All right, so Gaston will get their licks in again as we move into the top of the sixth with a 9-4 tally. And Justice has stepped away for a moment, after which I suppose I will as well, just to catch my breath. The count has moved to 1-1. Primus Burger has only thrown 5 pitches here. And Primus Burger, you know, this is his 10th appearance on the year, so Coach Calhoun has been very comfortable bringing him out in all kinds of situations. The hitter is Cooper. Holden Cooper, the catcher, by the way. So we're sort of doing some paperwork to make sure we were correct about who was pitching. But Cooper comes to play 0 for 2 on this day. But he has played a fine backstop. And Primusburger takes him down there. Really, Primusburger has faced 2 batters in this game and struck them both out. You can't ask for much more than that. And here comes Armstrong. Interesting news if Sumter were to lose this game to Salkehatchie, given some of the standings that are, the jockeying. I think what's really on the line here for us, ladies and gentlemen, Lancer Nation, and has been all along this weekend, is the desire for sole possession of third place in Region 10. I don't believe there was mathematically, as Primusburger pours that one in, but that's a chance for us to catch Gaston anyway. I believe that what mathematically we could do and what we're still trying to do and hopefully will do is that by the end of tomorrow, our wish is to be in third place in the division. That is hit hard. Barron is there, the long throw across the diamond. Got him. So Primusburger looking sharp. But what I'm saying is, in that series at Lexington, it's probably to your benefit to face somebody other than Flodar or Gaston in the first game.
Sure. For sure.
So that is something that we can achieve by finishing third as opposed to fourth or, something like that. Or worse, right?
So I think it's impossible. Second's out of reach.
Second is out of reach, we think, mathematically. And, just because of the math, it's like Sumter Salkehatchie way at the bottom. But then us, Union, and Sumter all bunched together. So what you really didn't want was seventh place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like you wanted to make sure you finished either third, fourth, or fifth.
Well, because third or fourth really doesn't matter, right? You're still
having to play a good
up.
team.
Yeah.
But you're not facing Flodar. You're probably not facing Gaston again. But we're, putting up a very good battle with Gaston now. So it's kind of like whatever. Whoever we got to play will be there. And I don't know what's happening with my cord. Yeah, something's happening here. Okay. The Primusburger has been pitching very well, by the way, Justice. But he did lose Corbin there. So now here comes Nicholson, who's had a pretty good day. He's walked twice and doubled.
Yeah, I actually found some unfortunate news down there. Overholt, who closed for us last game, kind of hurt his shoulder.
That's what that ice pack was.
Yeah.
Do we know the severity of it?
No, not yet.
Sorry.
So Salk did defeat USC Sumter in game 2. Salk did? Yeah, Salk.
So Salkehatchie defeated Sumter in game 2.
Yeah, they lost game 1.
Very interesting turn of
Wow.
Salk pulls up a crucial home win to just add more drama to that middle of the standings business. We'll be able to clarify, you guys, we hope by tomorrow, the math of all this in our quest for third.
Unless it was, if we swept Gaston second place, if we won one game as third place, so we already won the game.
What's your name?
Harrison.
Bucaletti, yeah.
Harrison Bucaletti is telling us that he believes mathematically we have locked up third place already, and that we even could technically threaten for second if we were to sweep Gaston in this series, which is looking, how it's looking right now with the score being what it is. Of course, it's hardly over. But he believes perhaps mathematically we already are in third place now, which is that was really the goal, considering the opponent and the level of play and what we're thinking about with Lexington. In any case, here's Nicholson. Primusburger has surrendered a walk, but the ball's looking pretty good coming off his hand there, Justice, and that's got to, like I said, when Will came in, we were down 9-2. This is an opportunity, especially if Hunter's really hurt. I mean, we hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
But this is an opportunity for Calhoun to get a look here at what Primusburger might mean for us in that tournament. Perhaps by tomorrow we'll have some more news about Overholt.
I'll be able to probably ask him after the game kind of what's going on with him.
Yeah. And he might not know. I mean, he might need to get looked at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a pickoff attempt for naught. All right, right, so that pitch tails away from Nicholson, and we're at a full count now. But yeah, once again, I'll just exhort all of you, if you're in town, please consider coming out to Hubbard Hall, Stevens Auditorium, 8 o'clock. You should take some of your buddies, Justice. Good. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Ball's drilled to deep left. My goodness, that's going to make it all the way over to the food line. We said at the beginning of this day
Wow.
that Nicholson was a tough hitter based on just numbers we were looking at. And he sure got all of that one. A deep home run to left. Put a charge into it. Sometimes I wish we had one of those cameras where we could see exactly how far a ball went. As Gaston all over us today, 11-4. That walk came back to haunt Will, didn't it?
Yeah.
The score's 11-4. Here comes Crabtree, who has driven in a run on a sack and also drawn a walk on this in this game. The number 3 hitter, first baseman for Gaston, takes the first pitch inside and high. The umpire warning one of the benches to watch its language. I believe the Gaston bench. That ball also misses high. It feels like the umpires have some concerns about tempers flaring in this game that I'm not quite seeing that the tempers are what the umpires think it is. It's almost like it's like preemptively nobody get mad, they're saying, or something. I don't know. Wow, that. But then again, I'm not hearing every bit of chatter that's coming out of these benches.
I thought the first base umpire did a great job with that collision to stop the team from actually coming out and starting anything.
Yeah. And that is another walk. Crabtree with his second walk of the day. That'll bring up Nix, who, of course, had the home run. And he hit into a fielder's choice, but he's also singled. He's got a couple of RBIs. He's been kind of in the middle of everything in this game. Nix, also the shortstop for this Gaston team. That pitch misses high. Primusburger trying to get out of this without any further damage. We are in the top of the 6th, ladies and gentlemen. Lancers live on Saturday, April 26th. We're so happy you've chosen to join us today. Primusburger gets the call there on a pretty overhand curve. Not really getting the results we want in Game 2. We did get an exciting win in Game 1, though, and we were feeling greedy, hoping for a win in Game 2. But this is, quite the strong baseball team in the Gaston Rhinos. And to me, as being my first look at them, other than just I've been seeing they've been winning all year, it just looks like what it is there's just no easy out in the lineup. The manager has made sure that every hitter, is a challenge. And they've brought in a lot of guys that either walked onto or were recruited at one point by four-year schools.
Yeah.
Pretty loaded in that way. The pitching, they felt hittable to me.
Yeah.
But here we are with only 4 runs. So, for us, that's not a lot because our offense has been very good this year.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it's still early. All of which is to say, yes, impressed with Gaston. Glad we beat him in the first game, Would like to see us stop the bleeding here in this inning, in this frame of the 6th. Overhand curveball, knocked to right, Knuckles on the run, snow cone catch.
Oh, we got Sebastian Cazorla.
Oh, did we switch?
Yeah, we must have.
When did we do that?
Probably, I think this inning.
Okay, my fault, y'all. That's Cazorla. He hasn't hit yet, though.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell y'all one thing. That was a fly to right. Okay, when we next see you, it looks like it's going to be Cazorla, Zimmerman, and Barron.
Okay, yeah.
And I am going to step away for a moment and refill my water and let Justice engage you guys a little bit for this middle 6th. Whatever you guys want to do, we do hope to put some runs on the board for you shortly, ladies and gentlemen.
And up to bat for the Lancers is Sebastian Cazorla, and he will be our leadoff hitter for the bottom of the 6th. And then he'll put a swing on that ball. A bounce left. They'll call it fair, and that'll be a single for Sebastian Cazorla. Just barely stayed fair. Fortunate for the Lancers. And now up to bat for the Lancers is Tommy Zimmerman with the runner at first and no outs. And that'll be caught with a diving. It's a great play by Gaston. And that'll be out number 1. So good play by number 12 to come up and make the diving play. Now up to bat for the Lancers is Cade and Barron. And that'll be called a ball, making the count now 2-0. Right. And that'll be up for another ball. For 3-0. It'll be down the middle for strike number 1. So I think my apologies. The count is actually 2-1 with 1 out. He'll put a hard swing on that, but he'll miss, and now the count will be 2-2. Caden will put a hard swing on that ball, and it'll carry over for a home run. So the Lancers with a 2-run bomb in the bottom of the 6th. Beautiful swing by Caden Barron to decrease that size, that big lead that Gaston has right now. And after that, Gaston's head coach will now visit the mound. So the coach will now make a substitute for the pitcher. And as soon as we can see, I will let you know that gentleman's number and name. And that'll bring in number 34 for Gaston Rhinos, and that will be Alex Sobel. Yeah, and joining us in the booth is Zach West. Zach, how's the dugout energy right now? How's it feeling to be a Lancer and that's inside that dugout?
All right, guys. Not bad. Caden Barron just knocked that pitcher out, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. He pieced that one.
What number we got now?
Looks like we got number 34, and his name is Alex Sobel.
Alex Sobel comes in after that Titanic. Tater.
Tater.
Is that what you called it while I was away?
I didn't. See, I messed up. I didn't call it
What'd you
Tater.
call it?
I think I called it maybe a bomb, home
a
run.
bomb. I like bomb.
I might have just been born and said home run.
The Red Baron
The Red Baron.
with a 2-run shot knocking in Cazorla, right?
Yep.
How did Zimmerman make it out?
Was it Tommy? Let's see.
We're catching up here on my
Flew out to right field, I think.
flew to right.
Yeah.
We're catching up on my all-important score sheet about which everyone's going to care. It's a matter of the historical record, guys. Dylan Baker has had exactly 2 at-bats today, and both times he has produced what?
A tater.
Taters.
He actually got 3 taters, one in the
3
first game,
taters
too.
on the day. He's tatering it up. A tater here, a tater there, a tater everywhere. And it looks like Sobel's warm-ups are coming to an end. And the crowd down low that I just interacted with while I got water, still very raucous. They're super into it. We have 1 out right now. Let's see what Baker does here. He has certainly shown that he's got a groove today. He's seeing the ball. It's as big as a damn pineapple. That ball slurves in there. First pitch we've seen from Sobel is a shave and a haircut, 2 bits. 1-0 to Mr. Baker. Bottom of the 6th. That is high and away. Baker didn't like that one either. Caught Baker looking at the knees there, though, to move the count. That added a strike to the count. We'll just put it that way. Alex Sobel is from Waxhaw, North Carolina. Right up the road from here. Very pretty town. Great place to go out to eat. Some good restaurants in Waxhaw. Isn't there a restaurant you love, Blake?
Yeah, Maxwell's Tavern.
Maxwell's Tavern on Main is one of Blake's faves, yes. All right, so here's Baker looking at a 3-2 count. I'm not sure, but I believe he drew the walk. He did. Okay, so he will remain 2 for 2 with 2 taters so far. Welch now at the plate. Welch has homered and grounded to short. Score 11-6. There is 1 down. Got a runner on first. Trying to get a little more here. Calhoun trying to exhort his offense to keep rolling. That pitch from Sobel did not please the umpire. It's going to be ball 1. Chaz Welch has been patrolling right for us all afternoon. Left, excuse me.
Left, yeah.
All afternoon. That ball misses. It squibs away. It's definitely a wild pitch there. So Baker, that removes the threat of the double play. Baker advances to second. So Welch now with a runner in scoring position. You know, we could make this interesting with a base hit here.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the rules of how we even do these doubleheaders, this is a 9-inning affair, which is why you see Justice and I taking a little bit of breaks here and there. We wouldn't want to just fade into nothingness here. That is a strike at the letters to Mr. Welch, though. That counts 2-1. That misses way outside, 3-1. As we've been saying for a while now, what you need is base runners. You're looking at Lutz in the top of the order after this. So, you know, you're probably not going to swing unless it's pretty juicy. And that misses high. So now Isaiah Lutz, who has tripled and flied out twice. The score is 11-6 in the bottom. bottom of the 6th. We are in game 2 of a doubleheader. If you're just joining us, the Lancers trying to get more. Isaiah Lutz with Baker on second and Welch on first. Trying to make something happen here against the new pitcher for Gaston is Sobel. We stipulated that Sobel was from Waxhaw. I'll give you a little more info on him in a minute. The pitch, and coming way outside, Alex Sobel comes in with a 4.09 ERA, 10 appearances, Justice, 18 strikeouts to only 4 walks. So, those back-to-back walks, a little surprising based on what you saw on paper there, right?
Yeah.
Only 4 walks on the year before today, and he's already rung up 2 walks today. That is fouled into the road by Lutz. Lutz dug out a triple in his last at bat. Pretty exciting play. Led to him scoring a run. Well, that looked like a swinging strike to me. So the count, is it 1-2?
Yep.
Okay. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt, and that'll even the count. Nice stop by Cooper, Holden Cooper. That ball could have easily squibbed away. Count's now 2-2. Sobel looks in. Little looping pop-up into short right field. It's going to drop. The second baseman can't get there, but, oh, dear, throwing problems abound, and I don't know if they're going to call that an E4 or a base hit. What do you predict, Justice?
Ooh, I think the error just because it was off the glove, but.
And then another error on the throw? Are we going to, how do you even. Okay, it was scored a single.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. So that's what I'm going to do. That makes life easy. Well, ducks are on the pond. Bases are full of Lancers.
Smells like some runs.
Cody Wilson has turned a strikeout into a double, and singled in this game. He's been in the middle of a lot of action. He takes a strike down the heart there on what looked like a looping curveball, but we got some excitement in the air, fellas and ladies. 11-6 is the score, but we got the bases juiced here, and we only in the bottom 6. Here comes the pitch. That misses 1-1. If you're Coach C, what you want is to just continue to add drama.
Yep.
Continue to put that seed in Gaston's mind that we're not going to go away. So an interesting at bat here for Cody, especially with McLaughlin on deck. That is a pretty curveball. That's a good answer right back from Sobel to get back ahead in the count here. 1-2. There is one down. And that is a called strike 3. Interesting. It did not look like he did anything, but he did call it. Okay. So McLaughlin's 0 for 3. But Justice, he's been a guy we've counted on all year for production.
Oh, yeah. At one point, he led in batting average, home runs, and I think RBIs.
Yeah, if there's one guy you're going to call, the workhorse, the offensive workhorse for your team, it would be this guy, and this is a golden opportunity here for him. Let's see what happens. Fouls that one back. We have scored 2 this inning. It's just that we need a lot more. We can't just keep matching them 2 for 2. Sobel comes in with his 23rd pitch. That'll miss in the dirt, but a great stop by Cooper there to prevent further problems from taking place. And it counts 1-1 here to the left-handed slugging Finn McLaughlin. Let us see what he does. Swinging strike. Sobel quite tall.
Yeah.
Gaston doesn't list the height of their pitchers on their the roster page that Blake and I found.
I've seen a couple guys who look 6'4" and taller.
Yeah, this guy, he's definitely hovering around 6'3", 6'4". We've already, we know he's from Waxhaw. We've read some numbers. A strikeout pitcher for sure. But bases are loaded. McLaughlin at the plate fouls that one off. So a chance to do some real damage here with one swing of the bat, which is about all you can ask if you're Coach C. And that is lofted in the center, fairly shallow. Outfielders are incoming, and it is caught. Okay, caught by the left fielder, actually. That was a weird fly ball. And so that will end the Lancer half of the sixth. As we move into the seventh, ladies, gentlemen, and furry little creatures from Alpha Centauri, your score. The Gaston Rhinos 11, the USCL Lancers 6. And, we got so caught up in the mascots of it all, we should make a point of actually finishing this music thread that we've been on for 2 weeks. So I believe we ended it with Zanzibar by Billy Joel, right, Blake? So after that, okay, Alice Cooper, remember him?
Yes.
Alice Cooper with the song "I Love America" from an album called Dada. Who are we bringing in here to pitch?
Landon Wakeland.
Landon Wakeland. We'll give you some numbers on him. Alice Cooper was born in Detroit, but his family moved to Phoenix when he was in his early teens. Cooper made his way back to Detroit in 1970 to get his band off the ground, and despite having been away for several years, he continued to follow his home team. He name-checked the Detroit Tigers in 1983's I Love America, which obviously could not be complete without a baseball reference. Quote, "I love the Tigers, but I hate the Mets." Well, hard to disagree with that. All right, let's see what the numbers are on Landon Wakeland. I've had the pleasure of teaching this young man in a class, actually, and a talented young man. Tall left-handed pitcher.
Must be nice.
Wakeland comes in with this is his 8th plate appearance. He has a fairly high ERA, hovering around 14, though. Looks like he's maybe had 1 or 2 outings where things just kind of went south, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's going to be facing Swanson, who is 1 for 3. The left-handed hitting Swanson. Yeah, Landon Wakeland, is 6'3", right-handed pitcher. He is from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada.
Oh, yeah.
One of our Canadian contingents. He attended Yale Secondary School in British Columbia, is what's listed here. And he lists himself, Justice, as an engineering major.
That's nice.
Very interesting. Here comes the pitch. That's going to miss high and away. Top of the 7th. Rhinos lead 11-6. 2-0 the count. Wakeland comes right down the middle, and Swanson swats that away for a foul ball out of play on the left side. The count is 2-1. The umpire's reminding everyone of this fact. Swanson digs back in. Wakeland coming in with the pitch, misses outside. Move the count to 3-1. We talked about how the key is to not fall behind hitters, and we've seen it in this game, haven't we, Justice?
Oh, yeah.
Hard not to sometimes, but you just got to you got to stay strong.
Yeah, you don't want to give him that pitch that he's looking for.
And that is not going to do it for Wakeland. That is his first batter is a walk. So Swanson is aboard Hendrickson, who hit an absolute bomb in his last at bat. Has also doubled and singled. He's one triple away from hitting for the cycle, in fact, fellas.
Wow.
Hendrickson's having himself a day. See if he's hit any triples this year. I wonder if what I printed off will tell me is that catches the outside corner for strike one. Hendrickson does have a triple. So I wonder if it's even on his mind. Gotta be. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Would it be on yours?
Yeah.
That ball catches him at the knees, though, for strike two. I mean, there's no way you play baseball for long enough to be playing college ball and you're not aware that you're triple away from the cycle. So
Nah, he's definitely thought about it.
Yeah, he has thought about it. Now the count, though, is 0-2, so you just, let's see what Wakeland can do with him here. Did he go is going to be a question, and the answer is going to be nope. So 1-2 now. Some awfully big bats in this Gaston lineup. They look like they could make some real noise in the playoffs. And when we go down to Lexington, Wakeland with the pickoff effort to no avail. Swanson dives back. Been a while since I enjoyed some Alice Cooper. You ever listen to any Alice Cooper there? Justice?
No.
That's a chopped foul. No?
I don't think so.
A lot of good choices. Isn't Alice Cooper, School's Out? School's Out for the summer. You know you've heard that song.
I've probably heard it, but I can't think of how it
School's
goes.
out for the summer.
My mom's probably shaking her head right now, like, come on.
Is she a fan of hard rock from that era?
Anything before the early 2000s she's
Okay.
listened to.
Okay. Here comes the pitch. Swing! And I miss, and that will be the end of Hendrickson's at bat. Still, what a day so far, 3 for 4. That'll bring up Sam Dansky. Dansky has flied to center, singled, and then was thrown out, and then struck out.
Yeah, we've had some interesting plays today.
Yeah. We've had some stuff that we didn't quite know how to score take place in today's game. Wakeland trying to hold this lead. That'll miss upstairs. Coach C has had to go fairly deep into his bullpen. I guess all these double headers we play, it happens sometimes that you almost have to expect that there are going to be days where, wow, like he was kind of lucky in the first game to only use 2 pitchers.
Yeah.
That ball catches the outside corner because you're playing 2 games. I mean, if both your starters get roughed up, now you're going deep into your bull, more than you want to do in terms of just based on the amount of work on people's arms.
That third game in that series, you can be really running on like fumes with your pitchers.
Yeah, Justice makes a great point. We have another game tomorrow that neither coach can afford to forget. And the playoffs, Thursday start. So, you got to have that somewhere in your thinking.
Yeah.
Just like the fuel that's going to be left in your pitcher's arms is going to matter. Wakeland comes with a delivery. It has hit a mile high. It looks like it's going to be Mr. Garabedian. He's a businessman. He takes care of things there. And so now with 2 down, it's going to be Cooper, who, while not having done so much at the plate today, it feels like he's been – or no, wait. Wait a minute. I think we might have a pinch hitter here.
14.
Number 14. That is going to be Nick Lundquist. Okay, we saw Lundquist in game 1. Strike 1 to Lundqvist. Okay, I need to account for that. All right, so Wakeland's ahead in the count here. Lundqvist is the hitter. Lundqvist in game 1, let's go back in time. Reached on an error, struck out, and flied to left in game 1. You okay? And that ball misses low to even the count at 1. You got Swanson getting more than a little attention here from Wakeland over at first. I just don't know how much we're really, we're down 5. Like, let's just get the out.
Yeah.
That's in the dirt, and that will advance Swanson, so maybe that'll just end those shenanigans anyway. Now he's over there. But unfortunately, it also adds another ball to the count, and so now we're at 2-1 for Lundqvist. There are 2 outs. Lancers reminding each other, we just need 1. The pitch. That's a base hit in the left. Welch with a bit of a cannon. He's going to throw home, but not enough. Lundqvist with an RBI single as Swanson trots home, and that is going to make it a half-dozen run lead again as Lundqvist delivers. Wow. I thought he might have a play at the plate there, Justice. But
Yeah, I thought he might throw it.
he was charging, but but also Swanson has some wheels.
Yeah.
Here's Armstrong now. That is in the dirt. In fact, it looked like they were trying to catch Lundqvist napping. Throw from Wilson over to first to no avail. Counts at 1-0 as a very welcome breeze comes pouring into the booth here. Sharply grounded in the hole between short and third. That'll do work. So the second hit on the day for Armstrong. The score is 12-6. We do have 2 outs, but Wakeland having a hard time getting that elusive third out. It's going to be Corbin now, who has singled and walked. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Not such good news for Lancer Nation in Game 2. Ladies and gentlemen, as here we are in the top of the 7th, trailing 12-6, and the Gaston Rhinos, nationally ranked Gaston Rhinos, trying to get more, faking a bunt there with 2 outs.
Interesting.
Yeah. Called high, ball 1. That's on the corner. Nice little curveball there. One and 1. Runners at first and second. 12-6. Rhinos trying to charge again. Lordy. That's hit in the left. No chance for Welch there. The throw incoming. Another run scores. We have a stand-up double from Corbin, which means RBI time and run scoring time for Lundqvist. And now Nicholson, who had the huge blast last time, he has homered, doubled, and walked twice. So Nicholson's having quite a day. A baker's dozen now for Gaston, 13-6. Wakeland trying to get out of this inning in one piece. The challenge just got harder now with the number 2 hitter. But the number 2 hitter, Joey Nicholson, standing in. I mean, just listen to these numbers before this game, this day. Before the day started, he was .395 batting average, .515 on base percentage, 11 home runs, 51 RBIs.
Wow.
The guy has .752 slugging percentage, so
It's impressive.
it's possible that we'll see his name as Region 10 Player of the Year. I mean, I don't really know.
I'm not familiar.
It's possible. I mean, I would imagine Flodar has someone in that conversation.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who won last year. I should have followed that more closely. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss from Wakeland, and I believe that has ended mercifully. We'll move to the bottom of the 7th. Lancers trailing 13-6. Let's see what we got musically. You guys know you want to hear what the next song was. I can't just end things with Alice Cooper. How about
Is that raw lefty?
it's making me scroll all over again, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the number 16. Oh, I love this song. Rocky Mountain Way by Joe Walsh. Now, that's a great rock song. Do you know that song?
I might have to play it.
The Rocky Mountain Way. It is from an album from 1973 called The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get. Great album cover, too. You got to check it out. As the story goes, Joe Walsh was struggling to come up with the lyrics. He was mowing the lawn at home in Colorado one day when he looked up, took in the beauty of the Rocky Mountains, and was suddenly inspired. It's not exactly clear why Walsh slipped a baseball reference into it, but here are the famous lyrics from Joe Walsh. Bases are loaded and Casey's at bat, playing it play by play. Time to change the batter. So,
That song came out in '73. Wow.
yes, it did. It's 1973 was a great year for music, Justice.
What's some
Pink Floyd released Dark Side of the Moon in 1973, for example. Here is Garabedian, who has struck out and grounded out. It takes a curveball for a strike there. I'm not sure if it's still Sobel, but I bet you anything it is.
It is, yeah.
This is number 34. But Joe Walsh was the guitarist for the Eagles.
Okay.
But then he went on to have quite a fine solo career. I'm not the hugest Eagles fan. There's a couple songs I dig, but I always liked Joe Walsh. You know, more than the other Eagles.
Can you name all the members?
I don't know if I can name them all. You got Don Henley, you got Glenn Fry, you got Joe Walsh, and then there's somebody I'm forgetting.
Okay, it was in the original Eagles were Bernie Ledden.
Bernie Ledden.
Let's see,
The pitch. Misses outside.
Glenn Fry,
Glenn Fry, we've said, yeah.
Henley,
Don Henley, we've said. Drummer. Don Henley's got a good solo career, too, yeah.
and first base is Randy Meisner.
Randy Meisner, that name, yes, of course. Now, Glenn Fry, of course, had the very famous single Smuggler's Blues in the 80s that everybody dug. And there's a couple of Henley tracks I'm very fond of. My favorite Henley single track is Dirty Laundry, where he just skewers the media. He's got this line where the bubble-headed bleach blonde comes on at 5. She can tell you about a plane crash with a gleam in her eye. It's interesting when people die. Give us Dirty Laundry. That's pretty tight. Pretty tight rhyming. And this is going to be, is this Cazorla? Justice?
Yep, this will be Sebastian Cazorla.
Okay, and he got a hit last time. So,
Then Don Feller joined the group.
okay. Don Feller?
And then
Ball one.
Walsh replaced Bernie Ledden.
And then Joe Walsh replaced Bernie Ledden. And Joe Walsh, of course, has the famous guitar solo in Hotel California, probably the Eagles' most famous guitar solo.
Timothy B. Schmidt replaced Randy Meisner.
Right, Timothy B. Schmidt. Blake knows some Eagles. Famed also for their a cappella skills, their ability to harmonize, right? Was it the 7 Mile, what is it?
Seven Bridges.
Seven Bridges Road is the big harmonization one, yes. Now we got it on the Eagles here because Justice asked us. It always makes you feel good when a young person wants to hear about some music. Cazorla looking at a 2-0 count now. But Joe Walsh also has like a song called "Look Away," which I freaking love. Beautiful rock song, "Look Away." Rocky Mountain Way, which we were just talking about, outstanding. All right, so the count is now 2-1.
I'd always wished I was a teenager in either the 70s or 80s.
Well, you've got a lot of amazing stuff we did not have, though, is the upside.
Yeah, but I feel like people communicated more.
Cazorla draws the walk.
I don't know.
I don't know. I do think there's, a lot of people talk about how, oh, gosh, I'm glad we didn't have cell phones back then. We had our eyes up instead of down.
Yeah, exactly.
But some of that is romanticizing and just missing being young. Like every group of young people has its ways of enjoying being young. Here's Zimmerman with a runner on first. My favorite Joe Walsh song of all time, though, is a song that I bet all y'all out here in listener land have heard of, called "Life's Been Good to Me So Far." What about that song, Blake? My Maserati does 185. Doesn't get any better than that. I lost my license, now I don't drive. Zimmerman, we're having some fun here, ladies and gentlemen. We are down a Baker's dozen to 6, but you never know. Bottom of the 7th, Zimmerman at the plate.
Joe Walsh sold Jimmy Page a Gibson Les Paul.
And now Blake reveals that Joe Walsh actually sold Jimmy Page a Gibson Les Paul guitar, which that's the kind of information you want in this life if you're me, ladies and gentlemen. Zimmerman now with a 1-1 count. He didn't swing at that. That's 2-1. I think I saw a Facebook meme the other day saying even people that don't like the Eagles like Joe Walsh, and that has been my experience. It is true. Yeah.
Well, Joe Walsh had to overcome a lot. His addiction.
Addictions, true.
Clean since like '94.
Wow. Blake reveals that Joe Walsh has been clean since '94. That is quite an achievement. That's another thing, Justice, that you probably don't wish you were a teenager in the 80s, because look how old you'd be now.
There's
right?
nothing wrong
You
with
get
being
to
old.
enjoy being young while you've got it, though. Well, no, there's nothing wrong with it, but you don't want to fast forward, you don't want to – what's that movie, Click, with Adam Sandler? You don't want to go too fast. That ball misses up and high.
I can't wait till I'm old and just full of wisdom.
Really?
Yeah.
That is an odd thing to hear a college freshman say. I don't know if that's awesome or troubling. The count is full, though. I can't wait till I'm old and full of wisdom. That ball is sharply hit up the middle. The shortstop won't be able to do anything with it because Orla will stop. Probably going to be an infield hit. You do realize it's possible to get old and have no wisdom. Like,
Then
it
you
doesn't.
haven't
It's
lived
not
life.
guaranteed.
I don't know.
I mean, we even yours truly, right? Like sometimes I wonder if I gained any, but yeah, they're not. They don't automatically go together, wisdom and age, unfortunately, do they, Blake? You have to still have to work at it. Yeah. Here's Caden Barron, who went yard with a tater. With a tater in his last at bat. And I got to see it from the ground level, and that was kind of exciting, seeing the fans react when Caden hit that home run. That was only his 4th home run of the year, so, an exciting moment for him. We know he has power, so a lot of times it manifests with gappers.
Yeah.
That is fouled away. Yeah, runners at second and first, man, we have threatened a lot to be losing by this much. It's almost weird, too. Like, we've scored 6 runs, but I feel like we've left a lot of guys on base. We ought to have more than 6. I bet Calhoun feels the same way. That ball is squibbed into center, and it is going to be handled for the second out. Okay, so now Dylan Baker, who is 2 for 2 with 2 what?
2 taters.
2 taters and a walk. That ball by Barron went further than I thought it was going to go when he first hit it. But it didn't go far enough. So now Baker with a chance to do more. damage, and Welch on deck here in this bottom 7. The pitch. That's a nice curveball from Sobel. I kind of like what I've been seeing from Sobel. Yeah, he's gotten himself in trouble, but he's also gotten himself out of trouble.
Yeah.
And it's a nice weapon for Gaston to have, this big left-handed reliever, looking ahead to the playoffs and whatnot. Swing and a miss there from Dylan. And, you know what he's thinking, what he wants here. But, like, really, just getting on base would be fine with us up here in the booth.
Ooh.
No, the dugout wanted that, but that was never going to be called a strike, not in a million lifetimes. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call inside. And that's a 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Sobel thinking hard about what he wants to throw. Both players are ready. The pitch incoming. And once again, a gutsy take. What about that, Justice? Could you have resisted swinging at that?
I mean,
with 2 strikes?
Yeah, I probably would have swung.
I mean, that's good hitting. All right, so what do we got here? 2 and 2. 2 and 2. The pitch. That's way up and away. Now it gets interesting. We got a full count. You send the runners on the pitch, right? With 2 down.
Well, yeah.
This is always a fun. I like this moment in baseball when the runners just go. There they go, and it is chopped foul. It's even more fun when the bases are loaded and everybody's going.
Bases juiced.
Yeah. Okay, the count is full. Both dugouts getting chattery. The delivery. No. Ball 4 ruled inside. The dugout unhappy. Man, he took a couple of close pitches there, Justice.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a serious plate appearance for serious times. So now Welch with the bases loaded. He has walked and also delivered a tater. Let's see if what we're going to do here with the bases juiced. Strike 1, curveball, right down the heart. Sobel has thrown some pitches now, guys. He's up to 54. And he's, second pitcher of the day. They brought in their real thoroughbred to start the game, Frail.
Yeah.
That feels like forever ago. Sobel in. Count 0-2, though. Chaz is going to have to shorten up his swing a little bit there. Foul out of play. Where's that going to land? In the road, I suspect. Okay. 0-2, the count. The delivery is incoming. Another foul ball. That is rocketed off the bat straight into the backstop fence. It is a very tall backstop fence that connects the 2 dugouts. Very little open space between fan and play, just designed for safety reasons. There is no doubt. Here comes the 1-2, the 0-2. Chopped hard right at the shortstop. He's going to make the long throw, and that will do it. So we squander the bases loaded that inning, Justice, and we will move to the top of the 8th. And as we do so, what's next? Well, number 17 out of this 20 list is a song called The Home Run King by an artist named Gene Clark. Gene Clark had an album in 1977 called Two Sides to Every Story. He was a co-founder of The Byrds. Remember The Byrds? Byrds co-founder Gene Clark did not enjoy much solo success, but that didn't mean he wasn't well respected in the rock community. His fifth solo album started with Home Run King, which is more political than its title suggests. The song emphasizes the disparity between America's ordinary citizens and those with protection and wealth at the top. Good thing we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff today, Blake. Here's the line: you are either just the newspaper boy or you're Babe Ruth. Well, who we got pitching here?
We got Wilkes Dent coming in.
Wilkes Dent is going to be our, I know not what, our third pitcher of the day.
1, 2, 3, fourth, yeah.
And Dent, this is going to be his 10th appearance. Hey, let's go ahead and do number 18. It's trying to say baseball's on. The Beach Boys. Brian Wilson oversaw the completion of an album dubbed Adult Child in 1977. But the other Beach Boys vetoed the release and it remained shelved. Bootleg tracks surfaced, including Dennis Wilson's It's Trying to Say, which is also known as Baseball's On. I'll tell you a little bit more about that Beach Boys inflected track in just a moment. Hello, Miss Delgado. And so now at the plate, it's going to be a Crabtree. The Baker's dozen has been hung on us by the Gaston Rhino offense here. We've scored 6 runs and therefore trail 13-6 in the top of the 8th. And it's going to be Wilkes Dent doing the pitching. Again, opportunities here when you're trailing to, well, you don't want to burn anybody's arm out. So it looks like he's just using guys for a little one inning here and there, right?
Yeah. It's crazy to think that we still have to have another 9-inning game tomorrow and find pitchers for.
Yeah, I mean, not clear who's going to start tomorrow.
Probably Jake Richards, like you said.
Yeah, there's I don't really know what was wrong with that pitch. I guess it was low. Okay, that is called a strike. He poured that one down Broadway.
Pitcher's just soft. That's why they get hurt. Nothing.
Sky high. Baker coming in, but instead Barron's going to get it. Wow, that was a weird pop out.
Yeah.
But it's 1 out. Here comes Nix. Nix has homered, singled, and reached on an error. I hear it. I'm enjoying it. Verini is learning about the different positions that people are playing on the field.
Uh-oh.
Another high fly ball. Baker hauls that in. So Dent, 2 up, 2 down, Justice.
It's nice.
Yeah, Justice, you play pitcher and offense, so you can talk smack about all positions because you play them all.
Yeah.
If he says that pitchers are soft, it's like Dr. Dre. If you diss Dre, you diss yourself.
I always have the ice, the bands, all these little accessories, just soft.
Wow, listen to that. Justice on air, talking a little smack here. Swanson is the hitter. That is drilled, and good night, Irene.
Wow. Holy.
Oh, lordy. That goes into the greenway. Swanson, and we're not talking about the frozen foods either, with a dinger.
That was a tater and a half, man.
So now, Couple of Hungry Man dinners, Swanson style. I remember those. I don't even know. Do they sell Swanson a brand anymore still? Maybe he's an heir, in which case, I don't know. Tucker Carlson, did you know that? Tucker Carlson is an heir of the Swanson brand. Anyway, here is Hendrickson, who has homered, doubled, and singled, and struck out Verinia, in case you were wondering.
Wow.
And the score is 14-6, so he's one event away from hitting for the cycle, is what we said last time. Swing and a miss there. Dent fooled him taking something off that pitch. Your score is 14-6. In the top of the eighth, having some fun, talking about everything from Swanson frozen dinners to Joe Walsh. Ball was looped.
You know, my favorite thing we probably talked about was Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls was your favorite
Golden Girls
thing?
and The Big Bang Theory.
Tell me a little bit more about the Golden Girls. I very rarely meet an 18-year-old who loves the Golden Girls. Tell me about your relationship to that show, and because I'm very familiar with the show, I can talk Golden Girls.
It's just such a wholesome show.
Base hit.
Makes you just want to hug your grandma.
Oh, it makes you want to hug your grandma.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, one of the weird things about that show is they revealed that, like, they weren't as old as people thought they were at the time. Like, you'll see these memes where it's like, I don't know, like Jennifer Lopez today is like the same age as like Rue McClanahan was when Golden Girls first started. They'll show you memes like that just to mess with your head, you know.
Wait.
Here's Tansky. They
J-Lo's
weren't as
like,
old as we thought.
But J-Lo's like 50, right? Mid-50s
Yeah,
now?
they were playing older than they were. Yeah, I mean, they were in their, like, early 50s. And actually, Estelle Getty, Sophia, was younger. She was playing the oldest, but she was younger than they were.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually interesting.
It's very interesting. This is Estelle Getty, Rue McClanahan, B. Arthur, and Betty White.
Betty White.
Hit a mile in the air. It looks like it's going to be for the catcher, but Garabedian says, no, I'll do it.
Good call.
So you liked it because it was wholesome and it made you want to hug your grandmother. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just used to watch it with my mom every morning before I would go to school, sometimes at night.
That is a beautiful story.
Oh, yeah.
I love that show. Verinia, you ever watch any Golden Girls? What did you ever do for culture?
I've never watched
What, any TV?
I have no idea what that is.
All right.
You don't know what culture is?
I don't think Golden Girls.
Oh, Golden Girls, you don't know what it is. Okay, that's
crazy.
better. Well, what about any sitcoms? Anything funny? Friends, you
There you
okay?
go.
That's not my favorite
one.
sitcom, but I'll take it. She says she loves Friends. Okay. I was talking about Friends with a friend of mine on Facebook the other day. She revealed her name's Wendy Gardner. Hi, Wendy, if you're out there. That when she was in like 9th grade or something, or maybe even 4th grade, she was reading The Shining and put it in the freezer.
The book?
The book. And there's an episode of Friends where that's exactly what happens. Like Joey Tribbiani puts the book in the freezer because it scares him. But then when Rachel introduces him to Little Women and he realizes that Beth is dying, he wants to stop Beth from dying, so then he puts that book in the freezer. And I'd never met anybody that actually put books in the freezer, and I thought it was interesting that I had a high school friend who not only has put a book in the freezer because it scared her.
A book? in a
Verinia
freezer.
says I would put a book in the freezer if it scared me. Maybe.
I can see that.
There is something about a freezer. Lancers are going to be at the top of the order as we all jam out to Billie Jean. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl, says Michael Jackson. I believe we have a new pitcher, too. Number 8, Justice. Big, tall, left-handed pitcher named Nick Deal. Oh, Deal?
Yeah, he played last game.
Well, offense.
Yeah.
He's playing both ways.
I think was he formerly at Arkansas? Was that the school?
I think maybe. And also, we'll look that up, but he homered in the last game.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Big lefty,
This is
yeah.
a talent. Lutz with a sharp grounder to third, the long throw across the diamond gets him, though, as we get our licks in the bottom of the 8th. Let's see. if he's the one from Arkansas or not. We apologize to Rhino Nation. We don't have all this memorized. I've got too many windows open, y'all. Here it is. Okay, so now it's Cody Wilson, meanwhile, while I look for this. That's a ball upstairs. So Verinia declares friends. No, but you know where he did go? Tulane.
Tulane.
So that's another four-year school. Gaston's loaded with these guys that went to four-year schools.
It's going to be my profile
Well, what
picture.
about both of us?
Yeah, come on.
Look at a picture here.
It's my profile picture.
Gaston's loaded, though, with these guys from four-year schools. This is not that surprised that they be winning so many games, Justice. Verenia's experimenting with photography in the booth here.
Oh, no.
Cody Wilson, meanwhile, has struck out, turned a strikeout into a double, singled, and struck out. He also has an RBI, and he takes inside there for 3-1. Or either that or 2-1, I'm not sure. So Deal played at Tulane, somehow found his way back to Gaston. Gaston has a lot of players like that.
Yeah.
Like we just picked up a soccer player from Illinois State.
Really?
Now plays with us, so we do that too. But like Gaston be doing it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to what? Our soccer, yeah, and I can see it. Like a player goes to a four-year school, they don't necessarily love the situation they've got. They start looking around. There's the transfer portal. There's all the different moves that young kids can make today. They find out a school like this exists where they're going to get more attention in the classroom, more playing time on the field. Makes a lot of sense. The score is now 14-6, though. That makes less sense and makes me sad. Wilson is gone on strikes.
Brittany, do you know if the eligibility changed for soccer, too? For JUCOs? The eligibility? No? Is that just baseball, Carter?
McLaughlin will be the hitter now. The bottom of the eighth, 14-6. Gaston laying a little bit of a spanking on the Lancers in game two, but at the same time, we've left an awful lot of base runners, and it would be interesting if a couple of things had gone differently.
Yeah.
Now here's McLaughlin facing the big lefty Deal.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Way upstairs, but McLaughlin out the way.
I don't think JUCO counts towards eligibility anymore. So you can go 2 years here and then 4 years at a. So you can,
now, they're talking about, and this is a towering fly ball to left center. The left fielder will catch it. What we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, two of our student athletes here. No, that's the end of the bottom of the eighth.
That's game. 8-run rule.
8-run rule. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys. Aren't you going to say bye? 8-run rule. I didn't even know we had an 8-run rule. This game is over. 14-6.
Yeah, we were able to grab the first game, but the second game was a little unfortunate. Things didn't fall our way, but
I don't know if Coach Calhoun's using AI or what to write these blurbs that show up immediately after the game, but we've got one. Headline says, despite multiple home runs from Dylan Baker, USC Lancers defeated by Gaston College baseball. And we were indeed defeated 14-6, you know. Gaston's offense poured it on. We did get one, though, against a nationally ranked team, and we're in a position to win this series tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And Bucaletti told us a couple innings ago that either way, we may have mathematically secured third place anyway.
That's nice.
Just by winning that first game. Before we close you guys out, I will say that one of the things you heard us kind of chattering about is things got more social and broke down into talk about music and sitcoms. But I do think that what Verinia Delgado, our social media coordinator, and Justice were talking about is very important, which is the way that eligibility works. And that it is Justice's belief that a player can play 2 years of junior college, then go to a four-year school, and their eligibility is unaffected. They could theoretically play 4 more years if that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I don't know that everyone does that. And so the question was then, is that also true in soccer? And Vernia believes that it is. that makes it that much more interesting to me when you see people move from the 4-year to the 2 and how that affects things. Like Gaston has so many players that
That's
did
interesting.
that, and we were just talking about how Coach Kenny Hallis has talked about doing more of that with soccer. We have Katie Reyes and other great talents. So we all know that the landscape of college sports has changed a little bit. We see it most in football and basketball because that's what's on TV the most.
Mhm.
But it's really affected, water polo and, just athletes, all college athletes at all levels. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But anyway, that's what we were talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, we so do appreciate you. Tomorrow will be our final day on air from lovely Doomsday Corner. And if we can, we'll get a third microphone. See if we can get Verinia and other guests. We'll see if Blake has something. And see if we can't add a little bit of a party atmosphere because I do want to celebrate. It's been a great year for Lancaster baseball, a great year for USC athletics. Our volleyball team, our soccer teams, our baseball team have all been formidable this year. We're going to close it all out tomorrow in a celebratory mood. This is Nick Lawrence. Very grateful to have been with you today. For Blake Falconberry. And Justice Knight and Verinia Delgado, and for the other guys in the booth up here, thank you all so much, and we will be back tomorrow. Peace.